Hey everyone, David Drucker here. Just got through another training, and one of the things that's pretty funny that I always talk about with the people that I work with, especially who've worked for me and who I'm working with on sales training, is the objection handling process. We sometimes get surprised if a client objects to what we're trying to sell them. I think we internalize it where we go, does this person know that I worked on this deck so hard, or I researched their business? I know all about this industry, and this absolutely works for them. Objections are not what a lot of salespeople think they are. They take them negatively, which we talk about as being a positive when we go through our sales training. And so you're like, if somebody's objecting, well, that's good. But the objection could mean a lot of things. What you have to ask yourself, what is an objection? What are they actually objecting to? Are they really having a problem with something you're talking about? Most clients could be objecting to slow the process down. Whereas look at yourself, you might be doing a great job with your sales, but the client wants to slow it down. Remember, you're asking them to spend money and invest in you. And pretty much, they don't really know you. They've probably just met you, or they deal with you maybe a half hour a day for over a complex sale over time. So, give yourself a break. Let's learn how to handle these objections and really find out what the true meaning is. A couple of things that we talk about. Number one is hear the objection, let them get it out. Even if you know where it's going, even if you're sitting there and the guy is like, I'm not buying this, the sky is not blue, that's fine, that's good, don't worry about it. It's how you handle it right there, projecting your confidence, staying true, but also let them get the objection out. Sometimes salespeople feel like they have to pounce and pound that objection into submission like it's a monster that's, if it's not stopped, it's going to multiply and keep getting bigger and bigger until it eats the house. So, we need to let clients state their objections and then embrace the objection. And sometimes in the way we work our sales process, you're not going to have to overcome anything. There's a system in place that we have where you hardly do any talking, and eventually the client will sometimes answer their own objection. And yes, clients are going to give you ridiculous objections. The sky's not blue, a whole bunch of things. In the years that I've been selling, I've heard some of the most ridiculous objections, but I respect them and I answer them. But the worst thing you could do is kind of cut them off and disregard an objection, or maybe give an implied roll of the eyes like, you gotta be kidding me. We want objections. Objections are a good sign that you're actually on the way to a sale. And using the method that we employ at D Squared, most of the time you're not going to have to answer that objection, because an objection is a client trying to slow the process down, or maybe not understanding something, or just wanting to just take a breath because you're giving them too much. And if that's happening, sometimes it could be that you're talking a little bit too much. You got to let them talk. And the more they're talking, sometimes clients will just answer their own objections. And when they repeat it back to themselves, the method that we use, sometimes it's like the client will sit there and I've seen the light bulb go off and go like, yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous objection that I just stated to you. But they won't say that, but you can tell, as soon as you see the eyes open, it's like, wow, yeah, okay, let's go on to the next thing. There's a way to handle it. There's a way to embrace it. But just a couple of tips on objections. We work on how to handle those here, and it's not with hardly any talking. But there's some things that you have to do in order to make sure that you address them. Number one is make sure you answered the objection eventually, or the client has answered it and you've put it to bed. And number two, confirm that there's agreement, that we have an agreement on this objection, that we are going forward. Next timeline, if you have a complex sale where it's over time and you have a process sell, when you come back, don't be afraid to restate it. As ridiculous as it is, make sure that objection is not sitting there, as the thing that's going to take your sale out without you remembering or looking at it. But we like objections. You want that conflict. I always told my staff, having a Jewish mother, is that there's no such thing as a chopped liver sale. What that means is that nothing goes smooth. You put your deck together, you put your sales pitch together, you get through it, the client is sitting there like, yeah. Let's do this. Don't even think that's going to happen. Real big ticket sales are usually met with some kind of resistance, but you can use that resistance to your favor, to your advantage. It's just the way you handle it. It's the way you react initially, and then employing the system that we train here with to make sure that we're using that to our advantage and not looking at it as a personal insult to the skill set that I bring to the table as a salesperson. How dare you actually think that you're going to challenge me on what I'm trying to sell you? I mean, some people like that. Some people, look, salespeople have egos. We all do. The last thing we want to do is have somebody call us out or say, I don't, no. We look at that as a good thing. And what we do here is we have a system where you don't really have to overcome by talking a lot. You don't have to get upset. You're going to probably embrace it and use a system that we employ to usually have the client answer their own objection. And there's a lot of methods in the way we handle that. So always get a kick out of that. But some people are learning how to handle it. We've had some success stories, which is good. And we're happy to hear that. And, when you sign up, we'll talk about it. Thanks a lot. Till the next time.